Hi hookers. Okay, today I'm gonna just do a quick little video to show you a demonstration of blocking. So basically we block our crochet finished projects to bring out the natural fibers. So basically it kind of softens your work and it also will help you shape it, okay? And form it to exactly what you want. The word that you kind of want to stay away from with blocking is stretching. Now, of course, you could have something that's small and you want to make it bigger, but still you want to be careful that you think of blocking as more of manipulating the fabric to shape it or form it. So what I did about 20 minutes ago in a bucket, just like this, is I submerged this little poncho that I made. It's a granny square poncho, and all I did in some warm water with this product, it's called Soak. I put a cap in, just one capful in, and of the liquid. You can use other products. You can even use Dawn soap. If you have like something particular that you wash your knitwear in, that'll work fine too. So you just go ahead and you put it in your bucket and you walk away. Then after 20 minutes, so I'm coming back, and I can just gently squeeze out the moisture. I'm not wringing. I'm just sort of squeezing out the initial moisture, okay? Then usually what I do is I prep ahead of time my blocking boards, and I also will get, depending on how large the finished product is, I'll just get 2 towels. Unless it's like a sweater or something, then I'm gonna need more. So these are just like old towels that I use for this stuff. So the first thing I do is I take my towel and I put it out on the board, and I take my project, and this is just a teeny little poncho, so it's gonna be pretty simple to block. But I'm gonna wanna block it because it's gonna soften it. And if you have any embellishment on your item like tassels or pom-poms, this happens to have a tassel at the bottom, you wait to do that after you block it. So I take my one towel and I lay my project out, and then I fold it over and I press down, and I just keep sort of pressing down onto the project so that I'm just getting out the initial moisture. And I can see you can see it's coming out there. So I might do it again, but I don't want to stretch or wring out the project. And then usually what I do is, because I know that towel has already got water in it, and all I'm doing is I'm just trying to take out the initial moisture, is I'll take another towel and I'll go ahead and put my project out, and I'll do the same thing. I'll just push down. And like I said, this one's pretty easy. It's small. It's not going to require much, but you can imagine with thicker thicker project and yarn, how it takes a while to get the moisture out. I'm still getting moisture on this. So this yarn that I used is typical worsted weight yarn, just to give you an idea. It's the Super Saver Red Heart, and it's basically acrylic yarn. It's great for blocking. It's gonna take the moisture out pretty easily, and I'll be able to shape it. If the only thing that you don't want to block is wool, I shouldn't say don't, that's extreme. When you block wool, you need to be careful that it doesn't start to felt, which is that it starts to become fabric and sort of, melt into itself. So we are gonna talk about felting, but not with this. So here you're wanting to just take the moisture out. That's your main goal. Okay, so I still have some in. So yeah, I mean, you can see it's printing out onto the towel. So the more that I can get out just with the towel by pressing, the better. Okay, for the sake of the video, let's say it's done. It's pretty close. So it doesn't matter if I do this, by the way, on right side or wrong side. All I'm going to do, again, is I'm not going to stretch. I actually, with this particular project, I like the shape, and I don't have to do too much manipulating with it. I do want to kind of make these granny squares even, so I can go ahead and do that. And the other thing that I want to do is I don't want to open it. See, if I open it, it's going to dry sooner, but I want to get this fold. And so we block it where you want the folds to be, especially if it's like an arm of, you know, of a sweater. We keep the folds double tap blocked to block. So then I have these Knitters Pride they're blocker pins. You don't have to use them. They just kind of are pretty handy. I got it on Amazon, and I also got the blocking boards on Amazon. So then you go ahead and you take your pin, and once you feel pretty good, and I like to really take my time with this because I think it finishes your project in a way that's sort of, I don't know, it makes it a little extra special when you take your time. We just blocked the other day a big granny square blanket. It's actually the inside panel of a blanket, and it changed the look entirely by really having 2 or 3 of us looking carefully, because you might see things that I don't see. And so it helps sometimes to have someone put their eyes on your project to see. I'm pretty okay with these stitches. They feel pretty good to me, but let's say you didn't. You had some, like here, this is a little uneven up here. I didn't really know what I was doing yet with the pattern. So I can go ahead in the blocking stage and see, I can just gently pull that and start to play around with it. That's why it's really about shaping and forming. And now I feel a little bit better about how that looks, right? I can get that there, and that's like the top part. So I do want it to look a little even. This is the back, so I want to flip it over once I've got that done, and I feel pretty good about it. Okay, so you do not have to pin all projects. This one, I'm gonna go ahead and pin it, but I want you to know there would be nothing wrong with me just leaving it like this and taking it outside. Because we're getting a little wind here though, I mean, these are the things you wanna kind of think about. I'm gonna put it outside, so I don't wanna take a chance it's gonna blow away. And then I've got other issues. So I'm opening up the holes evenly. I like how that looks. And then I'm just popping the pins in. And you can see too, I don't really have to pin the whole thing all the way around with this project. But as I adjust here, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that pin there. And I think I feel pretty good about it. Now, why wouldn't I pin here? I don't wanna take any chance of these stitches stretching because it's the V around the neck, so these are gonna really show. So I just wanna leave that there and let it be. That's it for blocking this project. Then what I'm gonna do is we have good sunshine today and good fresh air. So I'm gonna leave it out there and it'll probably, the longer I leave it, the better it'll block. And what I'll do is I'll check it usually like, I don't know, maybe at the end of the day, just to make sure that I feel good about it. It hasn't shifted, and that'll be it. And then I'll be able to take up the pins when it's super dry, and I've shaped and formed the poncho. So there you have it, blocking.